Hey, hockey is so back, and that means this series is back. After an action-packed week one, it's time. Go slam a Tim's double-double because we're taking a look at the goals, hits, and just everything this crazy game brings worth a second look. From Brady Tkachuk doing his best zoomies impression to some great sound bites.
Oh my God, my teeth just came out.
That's a tough bounce.
Steve.
Goalies being, well, goalies, and rookies getting taught lessons. There's plenty to cover, so let's start with the teams that didn't, because this is footage of the Penguins in Game 1. Oh, wait, sorry. That was the Oilers in Game 1. Here's the Penguins and Jari, who couldn't stop a beach ball. Now, while brutal for my Penguins, at least for you Oilers fans, this year's opening night, you only lost by 6. I'll call that progress, right? Sticking with Game 1s, though, how about freaking Michkov going for the between-the-legs attempt in Game 1? Or Connor Bedard going for the Michigan on opening night? These kids, man, they're built different. And speaking of the kids, Macklin Celebrini with his first in the big league, I don't know. It's definitely not one he'll forget anytime soon, that's for sure.
I actually didn't know I scored until he told me a little bit into the huddle.
But just as Sharks fans began to see the light, it went away. But then how about the hockey clubs? Utah, out of the gate strong.
People should not want to come here. This has to be the loudest place to play in all of hockey.
And while I don't know about all that, what I do know is they named Lawson Krause their associate captain? What in the assistant to the regional manager is that? I guess they do things a little different over in Utah.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Same thing.
No, it's not. It's lower. So
It's close.
But regardless, they do know how to get down. 120 grand in beer sales as the fans got saucy on opening night. I love this guy. But I mean, with a view like this, what else are you gonna do? Nah, but the fans were great and their team is buzzing. All right, so from there, how about we run through some quick ones? We had Barbashev with an absolute beauty of a goal, a backhand that'd make my grandma proud. Over in New York, it was Miller with an early season fluke goal as he got himself a freebie. But goals don't come that easy for everyone. Then we had Domi sending McGroarty to another galaxy as he was introduced to the league. Derek Forbert casually between whistles slamming some Tims. And it's a different league this year as we're also apparently taking calls from the box now. Speaking of the penalty box, over in the CHL, Denver Barkey had an absolutely incredible intimidation tactic. So good. Heading to Sunrise now, it was Jones and Rodriguez saying hi to each other before Jones going to chop some wood hits the linesman in the arm as look at Rodriguez's reaction. I think Jones ought to try the Jarvis next time. I'm just saying, he made me do it. And speaking of Jarvis, this dude's always such a menace.
Hey, Rosie, here we go! Come on, boy! Come on, Lux! Let's go. Here we are.
And so with that, how about we take a look at some of the great sound bites this week? Leon was on Coast to Coast, where we learned that Draisaitl drinks his beer flat.
I heard that you stir your beer with a spoon, and I want to know what the hell that is about.
I'm not the biggest fan of the carbonation in it, so they sit nicer on the stomach if you just take the carbonation out.
Then Joseph Woll had a fantastic media moment.
The Toronto-Dallas Stanley Cup final possible?
Legit, yeah.
And what would that mean
Isn't
to
it
you?
possible?
And what would that mean to you?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, it's possible.
And sticking with the Leafs, Captain Matthews is already sick of it.
I think Dak Prescott just signed one in the 60 range. Otani's at 70. Are elite hockey players underpaid?
Steve.
I don't know.
Over in Ottawa, this was actually preseason, but I thought it was too good not to include. Claude Giroux had gotten his car stolen. And so, when asked about it, this is what Shabbat thought.
That's a tough bounce. Yeah.
Also a tough bounce, losing your teeth on the air.
Oh, and everything was kind of, oh my God, my teeth just came out.
Dude, I thought that was a piece of gum, man.
So good. Over in Pittsburgh, we got to see NFL players Najee Harris and Pat Freiermuth taking in a hockey game.
I ain't gonna lie, the hockey game is fun as hell.
Come on, take his head off.
Ain't that what they say?
Oh,
Boy, you scared the out of me. Oh, damn. Is this stable? Has this ever failed? Oh, stop! Come on! Has anybody ever rushed the hockey field? It's a first for everything if y'all want to get in on it.
Always fun to see. And then how about we switch it up with some wholesome content? In New York, with Sam Rosen calling it a career after this season, Wes McCauley made sure to acknowledge him before puck drop in what was just a cool moment, even if he immediately missed the call.
You should rip Wes McCauley. That one goes. I give him one pass. That's it.
Then we had the Tkachuk brothers pre-game posing for a picture with Brady's boy Ryder, and I'll be honest, not sure if the NHL can do a third generation of Tkachuks, which remember, Matthew almost made sure there wasn't another generation, as it's a miracle Brady has a kid to begin with. Then in Montreal, this was pretty great. Cole Caulfield, rockin' number 13, scored, and look at that passion. He sends a kiss up to Johnny, as you just gotta love this. He scored his 13th point against Toronto in his 13th game against them while wearing 13. Pretty cool. With that, let's stay in Montreal, where in their opening game, Sam Montembeault was an absolute brick wall, stopping 47 shots in an opening night shutout, setting the NHL record, as he was absolutely locked in, and I love this shot. So with that, let's give the goalie some love, yeah? Again, preseason here, but Marc-Andre Fleury in disguise helped clear the ice during commercial break, and it makes me sad that this is his last year. Then we got Swayman eternally looking for a fight with the come get it boy, and just your average goalie warm up here. Yep, that's all. Over in the NHL, it was Askarov with his signature move, his 10th shutout, and he shut that crease all right. As for saves this week, we had Markstrom, literally first game of the year and already with a candidate for save of the year, just unreal. Then we had Kemper submitting his ticket, as these guys were playing tennis out there. Then how about Ingram with a strange bounce and a diving effort, as he made a beauty of a stop. This week, we also saw some, dang, Costin, wasn't familiar with your game, as it's not all fun and games in the NHL. We got ourselves a 2-for-1 card over at MSG the other night, and we had Maroon absolutely benching Kulak in Edmonton, Ovi then doing the same, but to a linesman. Pionk over in Winnipeg showing us a beautiful example of a hip check on Bedard, and Darlene in Buffalo, it's a good effort. And then how about we end it with another round of some quick ones. We had Draisaitl with just a shift to forget in game 1, as he even got called for a penalty. Then we had Zibanejad freezing up and letting Keller just walk in to win it in OT. We got Tkachuk and Hutson with a fantastic moment in Ottawa, mocking Hudson's constant head fakes, as this had me dying. When your mom tells you not to hype up the dog. Speaking of dogs, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, folks. We got Beauvillier with a rough go at it here, as his hair was sticking out of his helmet. Just kind of made me laugh. And then how about the worst breakaway you'll ever see by Ekman Larson? We also got a great mic'd moment from Trocheck.
Wow, that's sexy!
And over in Toronto, Marner made sure no one takes his Crosby away. We also had a great hot mic in Philly from Paling.
Whoever's pocket he picked wasn't too happy about it.
But yeah, I think that about covers it. At least I'm going to leave it there. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it very much, and I will see you in the next one.